information regarding this tweaking notion of our social structure in the positive sense, in the sense that we are working towards creating a conveyor belt through which people can sit on, sort of, to self-actualize, to make that journey from birth through to adulthood, through to gray-haired senior being as, life-enhancing, enjoyable, beautiful, rich as it can be. And I believe that we have a lot of responsibility in crafting that sort of framework through which people can move, in part because we are really the first generation that can quite easily see the comprehensive nature in which we find ourselves, or rather we're the first kind of generation that has all the information at our fingertips that allows us to put it together, integralize it, and make this movement forward in actuality. And this, on the personal level, has that same reality on the political and governance level, because from this perspective that I've been presenting, the government itself wasn't able to really produce a full-fledged democracy until around now, I think, because there just weren't enough people that were thinking at what you might call a world-centric level, at a rational level and above, where rational is the fifth stage in things like spiral dynamics, or third-person objectification in Keegan's model. There's still pluralism and integrative thinking above that, and beyond, arguably, although there's very few numbers to present really any strong evidence that there's that much beyond it. But so there are these consciousness structures that, although people like the Founding Fathers have been arguing, were probably ahead of the game in understanding the need for a tripart system that itself is sort of singular in nature, which in other words is sort of an integrative structure. There just weren't enough people that were thinking in that way to allow for the real true freedom that model allowed for to be produced. And now with tools like the internet, we can enhance that model and make it more easily available to people, and through things like even self-governance, that is bottom-up government on a deeper level, it can be educational tools in itself to get people moving up the spiral consciously. And that's a pretty profound thing, arguably, that through a well-maintained and well-structured governance system itself, people are going to be pulled up the spiral, because it seems that there's sort of a central or center of gravity. Cultures have them, and if you're above that center of gravity, you get pulled down. You're the leader with the arrows in their back. You feel the friction of the culture below you, and if you're below it, you kind of get pulled up, because everything and everyone around you are giving symbols and presenting symbols that are more complex than what you are living within. So to adapt, you kind of to some degree often get pulled up. Now there's some that don't, some that that go above and don't get pulled down, some that are below and that don't get pulled up. It's a complex matter of physiological brain structures. If you're mentally, you got a neurological damage or emotional damage, etc.